We are 9 months in, girls. We are 9 months into my low buy, which is literally insane. If you're new here, I'm on a low buy this year, and this is my 9-month update. So I have been doing an update every 3 months, every quarter on this channel on how my low buy is going. I go through every single category that my low buy exists in, talk about purchases I made, regrets, things that I've learned. And this time around, we have a lot of updates because I broke my low buy because I bought a really expensive purchase, and people got really mad at me over on Instagram about this. So we have a lot to talk about. So I'm going to address like how I broke my low buy, why I broke it, if I'm going to continue or not because of it, things like that. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So before we jump in, I'm going to go over my low buy rules, give a little bit of a reminder of what we're working with. So my low buy only includes physical items. So something like getting my hair cut or going out to eat isn't included in my low buy. And my budget is $30 per week on any physical non-essential item. This is a rolling budget. So if I spend $10 one week, then I have that $20 to add on to my $30 the next week, totaling $50. So I can go into a deficit or I can save up money if I spend less. So I have a couple rules on top of that, but mainly the clothing rule and a book rule. So my clothing rule is that I can only buy 2 pieces of clothing per month. This may seem like a lot to some people. It may seem like little to many people. I mainly buy my clothing secondhand. I think that's an important distinction. Like, no, of course, I can't be affording 2 Lulu leggings per month, but I can afford 2 $5 t-shirts in the thrift store per month. And so that's kind of where I got that number, because I tended to buy more clothes than that because I do buy like 95% of my clothing secondhand. And then my other rule is that I wasn't allowed to buy any books this year. And I wanted to get my physical TBR to 5 or less. And I'm actually making pretty good headway with that. So I'm excited to update you all on that. This is going to be a very chatty, casual video. My low buy updates always are. So let's just get into it. And I'm going to go through all the different kind of areas of my low buy. So we'll start with clothing. I've made a lot of fun clothing purchases, and it's currently September that I'm filming this for my October low buy update, and I have purchased my 2 items of clothing in September, but I haven't dipped into October yet, which is kind of something that I've been struggling with. Like, one month I would buy like 4 clothing items. Like, I'd go to the thrift store, I'd find 4 items that I'm gonna buy, and then the following month I couldn't buy any clothes because I used up 4 clothing purchases in 1 month, and I'm only allowed 2 per month, so I'd be borrowing from the following month. And that was kind of where I've run into like kind of hating my low buy, is when I do that. But like I mentioned, because I thrift all my clothing, that is so hard. If I find a pair of pants that fit me perfectly, I can't wait to buy them next month. They're not going to be there. And so I find that really, really hard, because I do think that part of sustainably shopping and being a thrifter and being someone who shops secondhand is if you find something that fits you well, you invest in that piece and you buy it, because it's better to invest or spend the money now on a piece that you love than to buy 4 pieces that are like 90% what you want but not 100%, and then you just end up buying more. So like, I've kind of trained my brain to be like, if I find something I love and fits me perfectly and checks all my boxes, buy that item, no matter how much it costs, whatever. Obviously, I don't struggle with like impulse shopping, and so that rule wouldn't work for most people. But because I'm already pretty conscious of what I buy, that rule works for me. And if anything, I tend to lean on the side of not buying things when they fit perfectly and when they look great. But then I end up spending more money trying to find that item later down the line. So of course, if you're an impulse shopper, do not use the rule of buy anything that fits you well and that you love, because that's going to be totally different. But for me, that's a rule that works. Anyways, I kind of train my brain to have that rule, and girlies, not being able to use that rule this year has been hard. I've lost out, I know, on so many things at the thrift store that I've loved, and I've just been like, I don't have enough clothing purchases to buy this thing, and then I'm sad. It's sad. Yeah, it's been really great to see my closet grow at a much slower rate this year than it usually does. I'm really proud of the items that I thrifted. I do still have regrets though, which I think would have happened whether I'm on my low buy or not on my low buy. I think I probably have less regrets because I'm on my low buy. I bought a pair of black linen pants from Winners, I think, and I don't like them. I'm not a huge fan. Have there been any other regrets? I think that's my main regret that I have so far. But I've also bought some pieces that I love. So, give and take, of course, just like any other year. But the clothing has been hard. It's been nice. I've liked having it. I have missed out on some clothing purchases that I would have made if I wasn't on my low buy. I went to the Hosier concert when he was in Ottawa, and I wasn't able to get a shirt. And the shirts were so cute, but they were like $65. And so I could have afforded it in terms of, like, I could have had the clothing purchase, but, like, I just didn't have, like, $65 plus tax would have been, like, my budget for, like, 2.5 weeks. And it just wasn't worth, like, 2.5 weeks of money to me. So I didn't get that. But I kind of regret that. Like, I honestly really do regret not buying that shirt. So I don't know. It's kind of hard because, like, yes, I've been more conscious of what I buy, but I also do have a lot of regrets for things that I didn't buy. So I don't know. But anyways, clothing's going okay. Have some regrets. Have some things I missed out on. But I've stuck to it, and I'm proud of myself for doing that. Now let's talk about home purchases, because this is where people are mad at me. So there's been 2 times this year that I have just broken my low buy and just decided to break it. And, like, not justified it. Just been like, I went over budget, and I'm not including this purchase. The 2 times were when I bought 2 pairs of Levi's jeans, and I think I talked about that in my 6-month update, so if you want to hear more about that, you can go back there. But I don't regret that at all. Those 2 pairs of jeans that I bought are basically my only jeans that I wear ever. I love them, especially going into fall now. I've been wearing them every single day. So no regrets. Like, I contemplated that purchase for so long. Looking back, I wouldn't even, like, if any of those pairs of jeans, if anything were to happen to them, firstly, they're so high quality, so I'd get them repaired. But if I, like, lost them or something for some reason, I would just repurchase, because that's how much I've, like, enjoyed having them in my closet, and how much I've enjoyed, like, playing around with them and using them, and how confident I feel in them, for lack of a better term. They've become, like, a very important part of my closet. And so anyways, past me, I shouldn't have stressed about that so much, but I did stress about it. This time, I bought a vacuum. Our vacuum has not really been working for a lot of the year. It doesn't work on hardwood. When we first got it, we got it free. It was like a pass down from my mother-in-law, and my partner said that they had that vacuum in their childhood home. So it had been around for, like, at least 20 years. It just, like, it fully didn't work on hardwood. It worked on carpet, kind of, and it did not work on hardwood at all, and our entire apartment is hardwood. So we'd kind of been getting by for most of the year just sweeping, and then we had a Costco gift card, so we were like, we are going to buy a Dyson once it goes on sale at Costco, because we wanted to buy it at Costco so that we'd have a good return policy if anything were to happen. And it was really important to us to wait for it to go on sale, but still making sure we're buying something high quality. So we bought a Dyson V11 or V12. The uproar online, guys. I can't emphasize enough. I didn't think any of you would care. I literally made a video and I was like, by the way, broke my low buy, bought this Dyson. This is why I bought it. People were upset, okay? And I get that. Like, I think if you follow a content creator, you hold them on this very high pedestal and you really want them to, like, do everything perfectly, and you're following my low buy on Instagram and you really want to see, like, me just, like, do it perfectly all the way through. But I'm human, and we have been wanting a vacuum for so long, and the vacuum went on sale. The price was right. It was at the place where we had a gift card to. I split it with my partner. It ended up being $225 Canadian plus tax of my own money that I spent, and I just decided not to count that $225. I was like, fully spent this on this vacuum and I'm not including it, and people were upset with that, so I did technically, like, fail my low buy. But for me, the reason I didn't count it was because if I had counted that money, I just wouldn't have had any money for the end of the year. I would have been setting myself up for failure. Like, there's no way I could have just, like, not spent money for, like, 6 weeks in order for that to be paid off. Like, that just literally just wouldn't happen. And so if I had included it, I fully just would have had to, like, stop doing my low buy, because I wouldn't have been able to survive with, like, no money on non-essentials. Well, obviously, I could survive. That's very dramatic of me. Like, I would survive. I'd be okay. I would live. I'd breathe. I'd eat. I would be surviving, not thriving, you know? Like, enjoy going, like I needed a new notebook soon. I guess it's not a need, but I would want to be able to go buy that notebook when I want it. I needed new pens. I didn't want to be like, okay, I guess I just can't have any pens and I have to now type everything because I don't have money to go buy pens. Like, these are things that add a lot to my life. My morning journaling adds a lot to my life. My to-do list helps me get things done. Like, I do not want to put myself in a position where I can't buy the things that I use in my daily routine that make me happy. So anyways, I chose to not include this. Sorry. And people were upset. Totally valid, totally fine. But I didn't include this. So I did buy Dyson. I did break my low buy. And I'm happy about it. I love it. I'm proud of myself. The Dyson gets used like twice a day. It has changed my life. Our apartment feels like 100 times cleaner. And I love it. And I could have bought a Shark. I could have bought a cheaper vacuum. But you know what? I just wanted a high quality vacuum. I didn't want a dupe. Whenever I've bought dupes in the past with anything, and this is the exact same principle I applied to when I bought the Levi's jeans. Whenever I buy a dupe, I end up buying the real thing a few years later. I tried to buy a dupe of the Levi's jeans that I bought. I probably went through 4 dupes before I just spent the money on Levi's jeans, and I probably ended up spending double what the Levi's jeans were worth just on dupes. I didn't want that with the vacuum. I wanted to buy a vacuum and have a vacuum for like 10 years. My mom bought a Dyson, I think 6 or 7 years ago, and other than replacing the battery one time, it works flawlessly still. And so for me, like, that is so worth the money to not be constantly repurchasing a vacuum. That's what I chose, and I stand by it, and I'm sorry if I disappointed you, but I'm very happy with my decision, and I 100% know that for me, I made the right decision. And a lot of people were saying they wouldn't have even cared if I didn't mention it because they were like, a vacuum is an essential item. But to me, it's like, it is non-essential to me because, like, we could have swept. We could have continued sleeping and it would have been fine. Frankly, I was over it. We have 2 cats, 2 humans. We live in like 700 square feet. I needed a vacuum. So we got a vacuum. Books. How is my TBR doing? This is the thing, okay? I haven't spent any money this year on books, which is wild to say because I feel like I've gotten so many books. And that's because in this year, I've kind of transitioned into being a full-time influencer. So I've been sent so many books, which is wild, and I'm like so thankful for that. This being said, it's made it very hard to get my TBR down to 0. I think I have like 15 books left though now. Maybe, wait, no, not 15. I think I have like 17 books left on it now until the end of the year, and I think I can do that, and I really, really want to, and I'm very like excited about the prospect of doing this and making it happen. So yeah, I'm really excited. I hope I'm able to get my TBR to 0. My goal was 5, so I definitely want to at least get it to 5. But yeah, the books are going very, very well. I haven't bought any, but my TBR has been like growing just through gifts. Also, not just from brands and companies, but like my birthday, I got a few books from friends or my friends just giving me some of their old books and handing them over. And so those have also just added up. It's actually been great. Like, I no longer feel overwhelmed by my TBR. And I hate that feeling. Like, I really, really don't enjoy that feeling that I was having about my books. I really want my books to feel like a very exciting thing and not a stressful thing. And I think coming to the end of this year, I'm really, really feeling like in a good spot with my books and with my reading. And it feels like I'm like really finding joy in that hobby again. And that's a great feeling because there was a while there where I just like really wasn't a huge fan. Tech has been a really interesting one because I originally included it on my low buy before I understood how business expenses worked. Like, I don't even know why I included tech because anything that I buy that is tech is like a business expense for me, so I'm not going to include it in my low buy. Like, for example, I needed a hard drive, which ended up being $150. And like, that's not a purchase that I would have made if this wasn't my job. And like, I feel like other people for their low buys, they aren't like including business expenses. So yeah, tech has been a kind of weird one. I included it for a bit. I still do include some things. Like, if I buy a piece of tech, I bought headphones, and like, that's a business expense, but like, I didn't need it for my business. Like, it was very much like a fun expense. Like, I was like, I kind of wanted a pair of headphones. So I included those when I had my low buy, and I took that off my total. But like, when I bought a hard drive, I didn't end up including that because I was just kind of like, oh, this is like not a fun purchase. I don't want to buy this. It's literally just for my business. And so therefore I'm not including it on my low buy. It wasn't a business low buy. It was a personal low buy. So yeah, tech has been kind of something that I haven't really like added to recently. Like I don't really buy much tech that isn't a business expense, but I have resisted some purchases I think I would have made. Like I think I would have bought the Fujifilm X1/2 camera when it came out, if it wasn't for my low buy. I am happy I included tech so that I like was very cautious of what I'm buying, but honestly, I don't feel tempted by any tech for like fun purposes right now, other than like I love cameras. But I definitely won't be buying any cameras before the end of the year for sure. Not. Well, I don't know. Never say never if something like really exciting gets released, but I don't think so. So yeah, that's tech. Not very exciting. Hobbies. Yeah. Hobbies have been hard. And I've actually recently realized that I was counting hobby purchases. Like for example, I make birthday crowns for all my nephews and my niece for every birthday they have. I realized that like when I would buy felt for their crown, I would like include that $10 in my low buy budget, which is odd because if I had purchased a crown for them as a gift, I wouldn't have included it because gifts aren't included in my low buy. I have not included, like anything I'm buying for other people is not included. And so I've actually recently stopped including the hobby purchases that aren't for me in here. And people are also upset about that, but like I don't know why I was including them in the first place. Like for example, I recently bought polymer clay, but I literally just bought it to make a Christmas ornament for my mother-in-law for Christmas. And so I was like, if I had bought her a Christmas ornament for $20, I wouldn't have included it. So why when I'm buying polymer clay for $5 for her, I'm including it? Because also I'm saving money. But then in my low buy, it's making me lose money, whereas it wouldn't have otherwise. So anyways, hobbies have been great. I have stopped counting anything that I'm using for gifts. Thank God. Because I don't know why I was doing it in the first place. But I've also had some fun hobby purchases for myself. Hobbies have been the part of my low buy that has been hardest to keep under the budget. I find in the times that I'm going over budget, it's usually due to my hobby purchases. I just love a craft. I love doing things with my hand. My hobbies are my main like form of entertainment, hobbies are my main hobby, actually, period. I think that was said by Shakespeare. So I don't know. I'm proud of myself for not like ruining my low buy due to hobbies, but January, I think I might be excited to get some new hobby supplies because like it's hard. I'm like out of sewing needles just from like I bought one pack last year, and in that pack, only 2 of them were for embroidery, and I do so much embroidery or like felting with these needles. They're so dull. I need new ones, but I'm like, I don't want to spend money on it. So just like small things like that, I'm very excited to like spend money on it in January, or maybe I'll spend money on them soon. But I'm excited to be able to buy them without thinking 500 times if I'm going to go over my low buy. But yeah, hobbies have been a hard one, but a lot better since I realized that I shouldn't be counting supplies when they're for gifts. I don't know why I was counting those. Like actually so stupid, but whatever. Beauty has also been kind of a hard one to refrain from, but I will say I gave myself a $100 budget for beauty supplies because I'm in a wedding. I think I mentioned this in my last low buy update, but I'll just do a little TLDR here. I'm in a wedding in a couple weeks, and I could have paid $100 to get my makeup done professionally, but instead I chose to have $100 in my personal budget to buy makeup supplies to do my makeup for that wedding. I hope that makes sense. But I actually only ended up spending like $60 out of the $100. So I did end up saving money because I just realized I was like, oh, I have enough that I need for this wedding. But there has been a lot of beauty supplies I need. Like, for example, I've been using the same 2 reusable makeup remover towels for like actually I think 6 years now, and they were like $1 each, which is great. That's great. I'm so happy that I haven't been purchasing makeup remover wipes and I've been using those reusable towels, but they're dead, like they're super dead. And actually recently Jer has been using them to like as face cloths, and I also use them as face cloths, so we just need another pack of them, and that's something we really need, and I just like don't have the money in my low buy, things like that. But yeah, the beauty has been hard to resist. I love buying a new lipstick, I love buying a new gloss, I love buying a high quality new makeup item every now and then, and so it's been hard to like not be able to do that, but also it felt good really using up what I already have and like being super cautious with what I buy. My main rule was like I couldn't buy anything like a duplicate of anything. So if I had a cream blush, I couldn't buy another cream blush. And that's just been freaking lovely, honestly. Like I love only having one of each thing, and it's been, so as much as it's been tough, it's been really rewarding to only have one of each thing, and I'm really happy with that. And I think that's kind of all the recap I have for you. I hope that was like helpful. I hope you've enjoyed chatting with my low buy. I can't believe I only have like one more update left. It's going to be the end of the year. Let me know any content you want towards the end of the year about like anything to do with my low buy. Like I might do a video to like talk about how to start a low buy if you haven't ever done one before, what to do before your low buy, things like that. Any video requests you have that have to do with my low buy, please let me know, because I'll try and get them out before the end of the year in case you're considering doing this for next year. But yeah, I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I do not take for granted the fact that you carve time out of your day to spend it with me. If you haven't been subscribed, please subscribe. 60% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed, which is wild. You guys are coming back week after week after week. You're obsessed with me. You can't get enough of me, but you're not subscribing. It's criminal. So please subscribe. I also just realized I'm pretty sure I wore this exact shirt one of my other low buy updates, but that's because I'm on a low buy and I don't have a huge influx of clothing right now. So I'm doing a lot of re-wearing in videos. Sue me. Love you so much. Have an amazing day. Bye!